We started in a small room. It was actually a converted classroom, just a few pieces of equipment. We were calling it the VR lab. We started to get known in the universities. The dean really started to take notice, so we started to connect up with other colleges. One of our other professors was doing a summer class with 13, 14-year-olds, and we asked him if we could come in with the Quest and actually do a user study and see if the app actually impacts their learning. And he agreed, and we organized the whole thing. We had to get an interviewer, set up the protocol, figure out what our research questions were. And we just went in, and half the kids were taught the traditional way, just a lecture-based situation. We did a pre and post learning assessment on both groups, and we found that they're equivalent, statistically neutral, meaning it's just as good of a learning environment as an instructor-led situation. Then we interviewed them, got some just, what'd you think? What'd you think about being in VR? What'd you think about learning in computer science in VR? Did you understand that you were learning? Because you're in a game environment, we want to make sure that you're still aware that this is a learning situation. So every headset we popped off them, they just had a huge smile on their face. They wanted to stay in there. They loved it. So we went back to the lab and we're like, this works. This last year has been a big flowering, blossoming. I'm over in college computing. My wife's over in college of design. And talking about how virtuality development and just this field in general brings everyone together, this collaboration. Our schools are siloed, and we're like we need the bridge. We need that connection. We need both sides of the brain. We need the designers and the developers to figure out how best to make this software. I was able to kind of convince my administrators that let me experiment. Let me do these strange studio courses where we take half of my students, half of hers, and we just figure out how to make them work together. We put this team together so fast this summer, and we just chucked like 60-hour work weeks, and the students were just on board, and we just ran with it. We based it off of like espresso machines and like Willy Wonka, steampunk tubes and pneumatic tubes and vessels and brass and bronze all over the place. And you can't just have somebody 3D model this stuff, because now you have to think about ergonomics. So now we have to take people from my side who are trained to rebuild these 3D models, and then we need the programmers to come in, and everything was just kind of funneling up toward me at the end, and we were just, new content was coming in, and we were just, rebuilding the app day in and day out, and it made an impact. We work and live and breathe this, and then we have to go home and have our personal life, and we see each other 24 hours. She's coming at it from stories and characters and visual concepts and aesthetics and kind of a holistic view, and I'm very mechanistic and sequential and programmatic, and so yeah it's a marriage of two worlds on many levels. It's been a wild ride, definitely worth it.